Here's my Hawaiian Breeze table fan, circulating air in my living room. Yes, I do have my big ceiling fan, got the Hunter fan, but whenever it comes to ventilation for the winter time, I prefer to use a small fan. And it's circulating air at low speed, and it's also going to be one of the pinnacles of the video. Now it's time for some rivalry. This Hawaiian Breeze against my newly procured Sears, table fan that I acquired from eBay. This Hawaiian Breeze is probably one of my most powerful table fans, and it doesn't have a whole lot of pitch, but however, you can see a good bend in the blade going down like my other retro fans, which actually, really helps, improving the airflow. This fan is all metal. Tell you this, these are pretty stellar blades and kind of remind me of something like a flower petal, perhaps. All metal. Feels rhinoceros tough. Mostly metal except for the oscillator knob and the power knob. And this vintage, my childhood, vintage fan, it's plastic except for the grill. And unlike the Hawaiian Breeze, you can actually see it actually has pitch. You can see the curve along there. However, this fan is more delicate. Whatever I do with my, newly procured childhood fan, gonna, use caution, since these translucent blades are delicate and they can definitely break if the fan is manhandled, and I know that from experience as a child, which I elaborated on. The Hawaiian Breeze has 3 speeds. However, my childhood fan only has 2 speeds. I think the Sears fan is advertised as 9-inch. This one 12-inch, and guess blade of the Hawaiian Breeze does seem like a tad bit bigger. And I think the blade design of the Sears fan kind of reminds me of an old Ilg exhaust fan, kind of maybe spiral blades, and kind of makes me think of an Ilg exhaust fan. I don't Not really sure how well this fan can be serviced, except for to remove the blade and the grill, and it's like, 99% like, my, childhood fan, 99%. Only difference I'm seeing is, I think my childhood fan may have had a nut in the center of the blade, and I'm not seeing a nut, in the blade, and best I can remember anyway. I mean, we're talking back all the way to year 1990. Which was, 35 years ago, and I can't quite pinpoint the, cognition from, 35 years ago, but I think there may have been a bolt, and maybe somebody, had this fan apart at one time, and maybe didn't put on the blade all the way. I'll do some further investigation of this fan in the future, but for now, let's do a rivalry. Since the Sears table fan only has 2 speeds, high and low, I think I'm just gonna do high and low on both fans. Okay, start this one off on low. I think the Sears fan is able to generate maybe almost as much thrust at spinning at the lower speed. Sears fan is quieter than the Hawaiian breeze. Turn them up all the way to high. Well, the Sears fan ain't so quiet on high, since probably the motor could use a good oiling, and need to look to see if I can, bond the blade on there better, if it's missing a bolt, but they seem close to the same power. Let's see how. Hold on a minute. I thought further depiction was necessary, so here goes with the paper depiction with both fans on low. Both fans on high. Yeah, I guess the Hawaiian breeze may be a tad bit more powerful. Let's see how well the Hawaiian breeze can drift my curtains. That's slow. High. On high, the curtain is bulging in. And you can for sure see some drifting. Oh. Sears fan on low. The primary difference between these two fans is the Sears fan doesn't oscillate, it's just stationary with the U-traverse, of course. I would say both fans have their pros and cons. Okay, high. Close to the same play. Gotta keep in mind the diameter on the Sears is kind of smaller. This is advertised as 9-inch, whereas the Hawaiian breeze is 12-inch. I would do a video comparing the spin down, but don't think that would be a fair video, it being that this fan needs some servicing, like oiling the motor, so that probably wouldn't be a fair video comparing the spin down. Yeah. But there's a rivalry for today, and if I ever get around to servicing this fan, might be a little bit more powerful with kind of a slight increase in RPM. Also maybe even a better spin down, who knows, but just glad to have my childhood fan back. 2013 model, and about an early to mid 80s model. Discontinued fan right here, but Lasco is making these same fans, or they did make these same fans with the Lasco emblem, and guess they're still available, limited supply, and hope they haven't discontinued them. And Home Depot is also selling this fan under the Eco Housing brand name. ECOHOUZNG, something like that. I don't care what you vintage fan collectors tell me. I think these modern day retro fans are good fans. I highly recommend them over a damn Lasco 3733 or what have you. But this fan is equally or even more exciting since it's vintage and has antique value. There you go.